Hi everyone, I've got a new tutorial for you today. We're going to be making a personalised money box. What you need for this is your money box, your glue, and I use Mod Podge. If you follow any of my future tutorials, you'll see that I use this a lot, so it's worth investing in. It can be quite pricey, but you can get a smaller bottle, a smaller tub too. You'll need a napkin, a pattern napkin. You can find these on eBay. Napkins are, I think, the best material for decoupage, which is what we're doing. You'll need your vinyl piece to stick on your money box, and just a bit of sandpaper, scissors and paintbrush. So what you need to do first is paint your money box. I've just painted the face of it white because that's what I'm working with today, but you'll need to paint all of it and sand between coats. I just got this from the local DIY shop. Just give it a light to show you. A light sand between coats so it's nice and smooth. And once that's dry, you'll need to figure out how much of the napkin you're going to use. Now napkins are 3-ply, they have 3 layers, and you just need the first layer. So you'll need to carefully take the first layer off. Can be quite tricky. Okay. That's one layer. Now usually when you're decoupaging, you just tear around the napkin, but I find that you get a neater finish if you cut around it. You get neater edges. So what I'm going to do is cut and get the size that I need for my money box. And if it's hanging over the edge, that's fine, because you can just trim it down later. Oop, I found another layer actually, so take that off. There are lots of different ways to decoupage and to stick your napkin onto your surface. In the past, previously, I've just placed my napkin down and glued on top of it, which works well, but you do get left with some creases in the napkin. So what I've started to do recently is Mod Podge on the surface, and you probably ideally should use a bigger brush, but this is one of my favorites for gluing. Just a very light coat. And once you're done, just very gently place your napkin on top and pat it down. And doing that will get rid of most of the creases that you might get. Right, I've got a few wrinkles, not loads, just a few, but I do think they add to the finished look, so it's fine. You need to wait for this to dry. Once it's dry, I usually paint over another coat of Mod Podge, just to get rid of the last few wrinkles that you might have. And I'll show you how to get rid of the excess, the extra bit of napkin that you have hanging over the edge. And of course you don't have to use a napkin, you can just paint your money box one colour, which is much easier. But I just thought I'd show you how I do this, as it's quite a nice technique and you can get a lot of different patterns and give your money box a vintage look. While that's drying, I am just going to literally tear away the extra napkin. If you're finding it difficult, you can just wet your paintbrush so that the edges of the napkin are wet, and then it will tear away easily. If you wanted to, you could just stick down the edges of the napkin so that the sides of the money box are covered. Completely up to you. There we are. So I'm quite happy with that. And I'd only painted the face of the money box, so if I now wanted to, I could glue down, Mod Podge down the extra bits of napkin and then paint over them so you can't tell. In fact, I think I'll just do that to make it look a bit neater. Now ideally I'd want to give this another 2 or 3 coats of Mod Podge just to strengthen the napkin. We don't want it peeling away or tearing away. Okay, so my surface is dry. I've Mod Podged it a few times and let it dry between the coats. I've given it a very light sand so that the surface is nice and smooth. And now it's time to add our vinyl. For those of you who don't know or who haven't used vinyl before, it will come looking like this. We're going to have our savings written on it. Now before you apply it, this is what you need to do. You'll need to take preferably a card or a credit card or something and rub it down. I'm just using a tissue right now. This is how I prefer to do it, it's just quicker and easier. So just rub it down, and what you want to do is peel, and the vinyl should stick to the clear film. There we go. Took a few tries but it's done. Now I'm doing it upside down just to show you guys. Once you've positioned this, it's not always easy to take it off again and reposition it, just because some of the letters might get stuck down. So try and get it right the first time. I'll just turn it around actually. Yeah, that looks okay. Looks more or less right to me. Now you need to rub it down again so that the vinyl sticks where you want it to stick. And again, you can use a credit card, to do this part. I think that should be fine. Now you can pick a corner. And you want to go nice and slowly. and the clear film should come off perfectly. When you're finished, you should have something that looks like this. Now what I will do is give it another coat of Mod Podge just to help the vinyl adhere and sit nicely against the money box. Brush it nice and evenly. And there's your money box. I think that looks quite nice and it was quite easy to do. And later I'm just going to paint the sides, the top, the back. I think I'll go for a pink colour. And don't forget, you do need to paint a few coats and sand between each coat. You only need a tiny bit of sandpaper. And there's the bottom, so you can put your money in and take it out from there. You can buy a kit to make your own money box on the website, which is www.cutbybug.com. You'll receive a wooden money box, a piece of vinyl which you can personalise however you want. You just need to put your wording down in the options box, and you'll receive a small piece of napkin, probably the size that I used, and that's included free in your order. So it won't necessarily be this pattern, might be a different one. You don't have to use it, like I said. You can paint your money box all over and just stick your vinyl on top. Paint, I usually use acrylic paints, but today I've just used normal emulsion wall paint that I had left over at home. If you want a specific shade of paint, tester pots do work quite well because you can get a lot of different varieties out there. Yep, so that's all for today. Please like, subscribe, share the video if you can. If you want to contact me, you can do on Facebook, www.facebook.com/cutbybug. See you next time. Bye.